How you doing, Kamal? Good to see you, brother. How you been? Semper, good to see you as well. Evening, how you doing? Good evening, Miles and on CMF. JP, good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? How you been? Evening, Miles and CMF. Joe, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Paul, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hey, Miles, nice to see you as well. Let's go. Hi, Miles and CMF. Thanks for responding to my messages earlier. No problem, Denise. Anytime. How you doing? How you been? Hello, Miles and CMF. Coatus, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles and CMF. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? Great, thank you. How was your day? Busy, very, very busy. But good to see you as well, JP. How you doing? So, by the time everyone tunes in one by one, I'll go through a gist of what we're going to be talking about tonight's live show. We have data news to go through and some bullish news to go through towards the end of the live show as well, as always. Good evening, Miles and CMF. I hope your coin move meetings are going well. They're going great. Good to see you as well. How you doing, Free and Forever? How you been? So, on tonight's live show, we're going to go through quite a mixture of news. We're going to go through Terraform Labs because apparently the settlement is done. Do Kwon and the SEC have come together and there has been a settlement and it's pretty much agreed upon, which is great for the crypto space. Now, I'll explain why when we get to that news. So we're going to go through the Do Kwon case and the SEC on tonight's live show. We're also going to go through Circle and Solano's new announcement. We're also going to be going through OKX Exchange and how they're going to start refunding anyone that got compromised from OKX Exchange. We're going to be talking about KuCoin on tonight's live show as well. KuCoin is launching a new card, essentially a bank card, a Visa bank card, which should be more accessible to quite a lot of jurisdictions. We're also going to go through on tonight's live show regarding Solano Labs and essentially a new platform Solano is introducing called Bonds in terms of NFTs and real world assets. We're also going to go from tonight's live show regarding the US inflation and how it's impacted the market, which was good news so far. And we're also going to go from tonight's live show regarding the Turkish lira. It's actually climbing the ladders quite high. Inflation is getting quite rapidly too high in Turkey. And Turkey essentially is ranking third in terms of volume coming in right now to the crypto space, which is excellent. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying that Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin institutions should be operating inside the United States, and the rest of the Bitcoins to be mined should be mined inside of the United States. According to Donald Trump, we're going to go through that tonight's live show as well. We're also going to be going through tonight regarding Morgan Stanley introducing a new AI-powered wealth management in Australia. We're also going to be going through on tonight's live show regarding Brazil. And Brazil's largest bank is opening its doors to cryptocurrencies. We'll go through which cryptocurrencies they're accepting on tonight's live show. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding the Ministry of Economic Developments, essentially opposing on ban of advertising on Bitcoin mining equipments in Russia. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding the French AI startup company who's going to be rivaling OpenAI, which is good if you want to go for essentially an IPO, essentially. And we're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding the Chinese president as well. He's sending praises to a particular crypto project. When we get to that news, I'll tell you what that crypto project is and why the Chinese president is so in favor of this crypto project. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Ripple's stablecoin because the announcement has been made today. We're also going to talk about Ripple Labs also announcing the XRP Ledger EVM sidechain for their blockchain interoperability and how that's going to work out for them as well moving forward. We're also going to be going from tonight's live show regarding Coinbase's new study case that quite a lot of institutions are inside the crypto space. I'll tell you what the percentage is when we get to that news. We're also going to talk about some other things and some data and stats on tonight's live show as well. So quite a mixture of news to go through regarding perspectives, regarding data, regarding regulations, and some bullish news as well towards the end regarding essentially Ripple's announcements and Coinbase's study case of how many institutions are actually inside the crypto space. So those are the news that we're going to be going through tonight on tonight's live show. But the first news we're going to go through, obviously, is the Terraform Labs situation, which is a positive sign in this scenario. But before we go through any of that, let's go inside the comment section first. Then I'll do the intro, disclaimer, and then first news. So let's see where we were. We were here. Semper, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening, how you been? Solomon, how you doing? Good to see you as well. Hey, Miles of CMF, good to see you as well. How you doing? Good evening, Professor Miles and the rest of the XRP community. Let's go, funky brother. How you doing? Hi, Miles. How's your day going? It's going great. Mike, good to see you as well. How you doing? Morning, Miles of CMF. Shelly, good to see you as well. How you doing? Morning, Shelly. Miles, tonight, can you please teach us all the exit strategies on the bull run, what we should do when the market starts pumping? Yes, if you look, regarding pulling out profits, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can do it in terms of percentages. So some people do when the I'll tell you, yes. Orphan, good to see you as well. How you doing? Emon, good to see you as well. How you doing? Billo, what's up? CMF and Miles, good to see you as well. Billo, how you doing? How's everyone doing today? Emon, let's go. Yeah, I'll tell you, Frank, brother. I was actually going to post the PDF tomorrow morning on the CMF Telegram group regarding taking out profits. But here are some notes from that PDF documentation. So, the easiest way to take profits is the majority of people inside the retail section will dollar cost average into the markets. The same way you dollar cost average into the markets, you can dollar cost average out of the markets. You can also set yourself targets. So potentially you can say, this crypto project could reach these types of price points because they've reached them before, and how the market sentiment is according to the CPI data or according to the Fed data that's coming out as well, or some other regulations that might impact that particular crypto project. You can set yourself targets and say, well, it's going to be reaching these types of targets. Standardized targets, not scenarios of it could reach this much, but standardized targets. And you can say, well, if it reaches this target, I'm pulling out 20%, or I'm pulling out 30%, or I'm pulling out 50% of my initial investment and letting the rest run. But more of that is going to be on the PDF, which I'm going to be releasing tomorrow inside the CMF Telegram group, explaining what to look out for and how the best way is to take out profits. But the easiest way is, some people dollar cost average in, just dollar cost average out. The second way, also the easiest way, is just percentages. 20% pull out. Prices go higher, 20% pull out. 30% pull out. Leave your initial investments in. 50% pull out. 60% pull out. You could do that essentially. Those are three easy methods, but I'll go more in detail inside a PDF document, because if you're setting yourself price targets, so you're expecting a particular crypto project to reach a certain price target before you pull out something, then inside a PDF document, I'm going to be explaining to you that depending on the CPI data, depending on the Fed data, depending on banks also coming out and saying they're going to be interest rates, everything impacts the market and makes the market volatile. So sometimes it might not reach your targets, and it's better to set targets that could be reached. So more of that is going to be on the PDF document when I release inside the CMF Telegram group by tomorrow. Now, welcome to the CMF Live Show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, this CMF Live Show, we go through recent news that's happening around the world. Essentially, we talk about cryptocurrencies, we talk about CBDCs, AI, regulations, and politics. Everything plays a role essentially in together. Messi, good to see you. How you doing? Also, the disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I read everybody's comments one by one and reply to you live while we're doing it. So welcome to the CMF Live Show if you're new, and if you're regular, let's go CMF. Thoughts on Fed CPI data? It was good. So far, the Fed CPI data was good. So far, there's no rate cuts happening, which is a good scenario for the market in general. And it turns out Elizabeth Warren's letter to the Feds didn't really work out for her at all. Elizabeth Warren yesterday revealed that she sent a letter to the Feds begging the Feds to do rate cuts. It seems like the Feds didn't listen to her in any sort of a way. And rates are staying steady, essentially where they are, which is a good factor for the market, hence why the crypto market picked up instantly when the CPI data came out as well. Did you use thoughts on Messi? Good to see you either. Do you use the Fibonacci for reference? Sometimes. So every time we pull out our investments, then we will have the dogs chasing us for the taxis. Yes, if you obviously do cash out, you would have to prepare yourself to paying taxes. If you let it spin, essentially leaving your assets where they are, then obviously you don't pay taxes. You only pay taxes if you do sell, technically, depending on jurisdictions. But yes, do you also talk about futures trading in the PDF document? Yes, the futures trading PDF document is separate, but that's coming as well. Thoughts on Notcoin? Can it hit $1 anytime soon? Notcoin has 100 billion tokens, if I'm not mistaken. So it's quite hard for Notecoin to hit it. But then some people might say, well, Ripple has 100 billion tokens. How can Ripple reach their targets and Notecoin can't? Well, at least Ripple has quite a lot of contracts behind it, and quite a lot of adoption behind it, and quite a lot of licensings behind it. Notecoin doesn't have, the contracts that Ripple obviously has, even though they have the similarities in token supply and so on. But Notecoin can hit it. It's not impossible for Notecoin to hit $1. It can hit it. But when is it going to hit it is basically the scenario. If it gets the right amount of adoption rate coming in, it's perfect. It'll definitely hit it. Her own party doesn't listen to her, so why would the feds? No, fair enough. Stormy, good to see you on how you're doing. But yeah, Notecoin can reach $1. It's not impossible for Notecoin to reach $1. It's possible. But when is going to be the scenario? It could easily touch 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. When it reaches those types of markers, it'll get closer to $1. Now, the first news to go from tonight's live show is quite an important news. The SEC has been battling, essentially, Terraform Labs for quite a long time. Some people think that the Ripple case is quite old. It's the oldest inside the crypto space, while the Terraform Labs is also a very old case inside the crypto space. And the SEC and Terraform Labs have actually came to a settlement. The SEC is about to be paid, essentially, from Terraform Labs for $4.47 billion. Terraform Labs reaches a $4.47 billion settlement with the US SEC. Terraform Labs, the company at the center of the significant collapse in 2022, has agreed to pay a substantial settlement of $4.47 billion to resolve a civil lawsuit filed by the US Securities and Exchange Commission SEC. This legal action was undertaken following the collapse, which resulted to a loss of $40 billion in investor assets and sent shockwaves throughout the entire cryptocurrency industry. Terraform Labs and Do Kwon liable for collapse. The SEC recently sought approval from a federal judge in New York for the settlement with Terraform Labs. The agreement was reached to a jury finding the company and its co-founder Do Kwon liable for the collapse after the 2-week trial process. According to the settlement filings, payments of the monetary remedies against Do Kwon shall be deemed satisfied, provided that all transfers by Do Kwon to the SEC and Terraform Labs bankruptcy estate in the bankruptcy case total no less than $204+ million, transferring into an escrow, essentially account agreed upon by Do Kwon and the commission staff of $4.7 million within 30 days of the judgment, the final judgment, essentially. So, victory for the SEC. The SEC allegations against Terraform Labs and Do Kwon state from at least April 2018 through May 2022, Terraform Labs and Do Kwon offered and sold crypto assets, securities, and unregistered transactions and perpetrated essentially fraudulent schemes that led to the loss of at least $40 billion of market value. Additionally, regulators alleged that the defendants misled investors about Terra USD's stability and falsifying, claiming Terraform Labs blockchains was integrated into popular Korean mobile payment apps. So, the SEC has actually won a case for the first time in their entire lives. An actual case, not some random small, crypto company case, but an actual big case the SEC has won. Gary should be proud of himself because he's actually taken down a criminal for once, not just a random platform inside the crypto space. So, is this good news for the SEC? Yes. But is it good news for the crypto space that Terraform Labs is now out of the picture? Yes, it's great news because Terraform Labs was a burden inside the crypto space. And essentially, with this case now removed from the list of cases, is good. The market can move forward now. The SEC can move forward now. Maybe they're going to be a bit more lenient on essentially Ripple and other cases that they have going on because that's a very big payday for the SEC. And for the first time ever, they've actually catched a real criminal. Wall Street is going to be very happy with Gary Gensler essentially in this because Wall Street gets quite excited when Binance was taken down. The CEO of Binance, when he was taken down, Wall Street was over the moon. And Terraform Labs being out of the picture as well, they're also going to be over the moon as well. So corporates will come more. The market's becoming a mature place. They're cleaning up the crypto market right now. Is what's going on. They're literally cleaning up the crypto markets, getting prepared for that matureness of the crypto sector. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Circle to let Solana devs pay for user gas fees with gas stations. But before we go through that news, let's go to the comment section first. Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Thoughts on Pepe? How high can it go? Do you think? Thoughts on Pepe? How high do I think it's going to go? I mean, Pepe, is an extremely volatile asset. It's stuck around for a while now. It could do good, but look, Pepe high risk, high rewards. So which means either sky high or absolutely nothing is what you should be expecting from Pepe. So if it goes incredibly high, then jump out with your profits is what I would say. Not financial advice at all. Is Lunar Classic still bullish? Do you think? After this scenario, we'll have to see how essentially plays out. But this is good that this has happened regarding Terraform Labs. Even Miles and CMF, Manny, good to see you. How you doing? Sorry, Miles, I missed your answer. It frozen at my end for a few seconds. What was your question, Orphan? Let me see. Do you use the fib for reference? Sometimes. Not for an actual. Sometimes. Very rarely. Hyper Sniper, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? So, there is this new trend right now inside the crypto space that's happening. Started off with Coinbase. Coinbase came out with this new feature with their wallets where the developers can pay for the gas tokens, essentially, to get the ball rolling for crypto projects. Now, Circle is jumping on this bandwagon as well. So making essentially transactions gasless. Imagine going to buy essentially a cryptocurrency or transferring a cryptocurrency and you don't pay gas fees for it. How good does that seem? Well, it's too good to be true sometimes because, now Circle is going to be offering this to Solana as well now. So imagine buying a meme coin on Solana, because that's what mostly sells on Solana's chain, ironically, and not paying gas fees for it. So Circle to let Solana devs pay for users' gas fees with gas stations. So the developer of the project on Solana can now pay for your gas fees. Circle has officially extended its Web3 services to Solana blockchain, integrating programmable wallets and gas stations. Both tools are designed to enhance the developer's experience by simplifying the creation of an on-chain application. These services aim to alleviate the technical burdens of managing private keys, securities, and transaction fees, allowing developers to concentrate on scaling their applications instead. While gas stations let developers pay for users' gas fees, programmable wallets make it possible for devs to build applications that have the potential to reach a wider global audience. Of course, if you do introduce a crypto project and it has zero gas fees, it will definitely attract a lot of users. The Solana developer community, known for its rapid growth and innovative payment application developments, stands to benefit greatly from this expansion, said the Circle in the announcements. As it essentially aims to facilitate seamless value exchange globally, Circle sees the growing payment ecosystems within Solana as reliable. Even though Solana's system has crashed 11 times, the last one was 5 hours. PayPal also chose Solana as the first blockchain to expand out of Ethereum's PYUSD stablecoin as well. And notably, Circle has been proactive in supporting the Solana ecosystem with previous initiatives as well, including the integration of their native USDC and EuroC, as well as their cross-chain transfer protocol CCTP. The rollout of Solana support within Circle's Web3 services will occur in stages, with the current phase focusing on NFT transfers and transaction fee sponsorships. Moreover, Circle mentions that future updates expected to introduce support for NFTs and interactions with smart contract platforms, paving the way for a broader range of use cases such as NFT-based loyalty programs and gaming is essentially what's coming to Solana, according to Circle. So, Circle developers can now pay for their customers' gas fees. It will definitely help their project to get it off the ground, but is any developer really going to be coughing up money out of their own pockets to pay for people's gas fees? That is a question for the developers. Most likely it's going to be no, but some people might do it. The next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding OKX Exchange. OKX Exchange did become compromised. So for about a week now, OKX Exchange has been going around and saying we never got compromised, the users got compromised. So collective users were compromised on OKX Exchange. According to OKX Exchange, it was the users' fault they became compromised because of SIM swapping. It turns out it wasn't, and it was OKX's issue. We're going to go through how they became compromised, essentially. And it also goes back to what I said, that exchanges do have money to pay you back. So Binance, for example, has $1 billion, just in case they become compromised and they have to pay back users. Coinbase also has a budget to pay you back in case you become compromised. But I did say it's going to become, some exchanges, even though they have the money to refund you, but they'll second guess it and 25 question it before they do decide to pay you back, even if it's their fault. But because the news became so public, OKX Exchange decided to pay back the users. But now, before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. Hello, CMF and Miles. How are you doing today? I hope that all of you had a great day. Scott, good to see you. So how you doing? Thoughts on Zcash? Will this go back up again? Low possibility. Hi, Miles and CMF. Dennis, good to see you. So how you doing? Hi, hey, Miles. How you doing today? It looks like Solana is going to be big. By the looks of it, well, it depends on the developers, to be fairly honest. Miles, how are you today? How's your parents doing? How's your business doing? Great. Scott, let's go. How you doing, brother? How you been? So, OKX Exchange refunds users whose assets were stolen on its platform. OKX has attributed to the recent exploit of some users' accounts to identity theft, revealing that bad actors had obtained the user's information using forged documents to steal funds. This is not good for OKX Exchange and also any other platform that uses the same services in terms of security. Last weekend, several OKX users shared on X that their accounts have been compromised and their assets have been drained. Several speculations were made about what caused the incident, with SlowMist noting that the hacker created new API keys for the users to withdraw their funds. The blockchain security firm also noted that the SMS risk notification came from Hong Kong. OKX compensates impacted users. In a social media post today, OKX confirmed the incident, noting that only a few victims were affected. The exchange added that the hackers accessed users' information by presenting forged documents. Thus, it appears the exchange disclosed sensitive user information to scammers, thinking it was complying with regulators or law enforcement, it added. Hackers, this is how sophisticated hackers are getting right now. Hackers are pretending to be law enforcement and contacting exchanges to get access to your wallets. This is essentially how advanced right now the hackers are getting, where they're pretending to be law enforcement, contacting exchanges and saying, they want access to your files. And once they get the access to your files, they'll empty your wallets on those exchanges. So, the enforcement added, essentially, it has been verified that someone forged documents and obtained the information of a very few customers on OKX Exchange. The matter is under investigation by the judicial authorities, and we cannot disclose more specified details. We have optimized the judicial cooperation process, introduced a verification mechanism, and strengthened the security level of our AI face recognition. The exchange also debunked claims that it essentially has been exploited, which caused vulnerability in its security systems that allowed the hackers to turn off SMS verification or Google Authenticator. A blockchain security group, Default Effect, had suggested that this was a reason based on their analysis. It claimed that users bind Google Authenticator because GA has a higher security level. However, when OKX verifies sensitive user operations such as adding whitelist addresses, withdrawing coins, or changing various verification items on settings, it can directly switch to a low security verification method such as SMS. Meanwhile, the exchange added that it has compensated affected users. This aligns with its policies of compensating customers for their losses due to the faults. However, it added that its accounts of security systems remain safe and is optimizing its judicial cooperation process to prevent this from ever happening again. Scammers are getting more sophisticated. They definitely are. This incident highlights the extent to which bad actors or scammers are willing to go. Notably, the exploit comes at an aimed rise in SIM swap and phishing attacks. Recently, top crypto platforms reported that their email vendors were also compromised as well. Yeah, scammers are coming in from every angle. They're pretending to be law enforcement, trying to get access to people's accounts on crypto platforms now. The last place you want to hold your crypto assets are on exchanges right now. The last place you want to hold any sort of crypto assets are on exchanges. So I've always said this and I always say it again. Obviously not financial advice in any sort of a way, but I only keep assets for myself perspective. I only keep crypto assets that I'm trading with on the exchange. Anything else that I'm holding long term, it's never on the exchange. Especially when you have scammers now pretending to be law enforcement to get access to your accounts. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding KuCoin. KuCoin is coming out with bank cards, Visa bank cards, with a new company, which means they're going to be opening their doors to a lot of jurisdictions later on. Now, before we go through that news, let's go through the comment section first. Dennis, good to see you on. How you doing? How you been? What up, Miles and CMF? Hope all is well though. Ray, good to see you on. How you doing? Miles, it looks like XRP name spread around a lot today. Yes, XRP name was spread a lot today. We're going to go through the XRP news as well towards the end of the live show, and some extremely bullish news towards the end of the live shows regarding the corporate sector as well, and the Ripple news as well. But for now, we're going to go through the coin, essentially the KuCoin bank card. So it's very important for you to have a cryptocurrency bank card, especially if you're the type of person that wants to spend their cryptocurrencies and not have to withdraw it to your bank account, because banks do freeze your accounts when you do that. Now, KuCoin. So KuCoin, a bolster and combined to create a leading card solution in crypto fiat integrations. KuCoin has partnered with Bolster, a fintech professional, to launch the Q Card, a Visa card that combines cryptocurrency flexibility with traditional payments reliability. The card allows seamless crypto to fiat conversions and offers convenience and rewards such as cashback and discounts when you use this cryptocurrency bank card. The fintech industry constantly evolves, offering innovative solutions tailored to essential business needs. To remain competitive, and companies must streamline their process effectively, managing their expenses and assets. Wallstar Card Solutions is a paramount of effective financial management. Wallstar AS is a professional fintech company revolutionizing card issuing and financial services for businesses worldwide. Wallstar enables businesses to create branded card programs and payment infrastructures with flexible, customized applications and digital integrations. Through physical and virtual mediums, Wallstar Card issuing services help companies account for expenses and offer card issuing facilities that empowers them to operate as an independent service providers. And Wallstar AS is at the forefront of addressing financial challenges through innovation, paving the way for unparalleled financial freedom and improved operational management. So, if you do want a cryptocurrency bank card, KuCoin essentially is offering new cryptocurrency bank cards. Go and check it out and see if it's available in your jurisdiction, first of all. Now, Solana Labs is introducing a new platform, and their new platform is called Bond. So, Solana Labs introduces Web3 Gateway Bond for luxury brands. Solana Labs has announced a new platform for luxury brands called Bond, aimed at leveraging blockchain to offer personalized, transparent customer experiences that foster deeper connections and long-term loyalty. According to the announcement, the platform addresses the disconnect between brands and consumers when products change hands, which can obscure customer data and hinder relationships and buildings. Bond's direct engagement and capability insights into consumer behavior and blockchain-based authentications of goods enables brands to create a tailored customer journey and secure partnerships without compromising data privacies. This is what Solana Labs said. Bond equips brands with tools to deliver personalized experiences, foster trust, and cultivate essentially enduring relationships with their customers, said the head of product at Solana Labs. We're thrilled to introduce Bond as a game changer for brands seeking to improve their customer engagement strategies, allowing them to design bespoke loyalty programs and rewards that encourage repeat engagements and increase overall customer value. Bond also introduces new opportunities for digital collectibles, luxury goods, authentications, digital product passports, and collective campaigns. It utilizes the Solana blockchain speed, scalability, and low cost to provide a frictionless user experience, essentially making blockchain integrations simple for brands without the need for blockchain expertise to be involved. And this development reinforces Solana's role as an infrastructure for Web3 developments. So that's Solana's new platform that's been introduced right now. It's called Solana Bond. They're trying to sign brands as much as they can possibly. Solana wants to break into the e-commerce space essentially with Solana. I hope it works out extremely well for them, but knowing Solana, they have crashed 11 times. I'm hoping they don't crash for the 12th time. The next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding US inflation drop. So this is the news that essentially affected the market, which we're about to go through right now. We're going to go through the data and essentially what was said and how the market reacted. So why the market turned green today was because of this. US inflation drops to essentially 3.3%, beating forecasts. The US inflation dropped to 3.3% in May, raising hopes for early interest rate cuts. This positive development boosted both the stock market and President Joe Biden's PR campaign. The data came in slightly below what economists had expected. US stocks opened at a record highs following the release of the inflation data. Treasury yields dropped as investors anticipated more interest rate cuts this year. The S&P 500 surged by 1.1%, essentially hitting a record high of 5,436 during early tradings. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq also rose by 1.6% as well. US inflation cools off. The 3.3% rise in headline CPI for May was a positive surprise, just below the expected 3.4% core CPI, which removes the volatile food and energy prices, also showed positive signs by remaining at the 3.4%, below the forecasted 3.5%. The data also revealed that monthly headlines inflation was zero, indicating stable price levels. The core CPI increased by 0.2%, indicating a mild inflationary pressure in other sectors. Traders in the futures market increased their bets on the rate cuts in September ahead of the presidential elections. The odds for this rate cut rose to 84% compared to 60% before the inflation data was released. Investors are now fully pricing in 2/4 point interest rates this year as well. Previously, the expectation was between 1 and 2 cuts. President Biden welcomed the figures as progress on lowering inflation, noting that the inflation is now nearly 2/3 from its peak. He also highlighted that core inflation is at its lowest since April 2021. Crypto market spikes. As soon as the CPI data came out, the crypto markets saw a remarkable surge. It's not word of a lie. I was looking at the market. The moment the CPI data dropped, the market just went straight away up. As soon as the CPI data came out, crypto markets saw a remarkable surge. Bitcoin went from 67,000 to 69,000 in a matter of minutes. Though they remain prominently bearish in short term, all cryptocurrencies in the top 10 have seen an increase today. This demonstrates the potential for quick rebounds based on economic data. This uptake offers a brief respite from the recent downtrend and hints, and essentially at the volatility that continues the categorizing of the crypto space. Moreover, the data sets the stage for Bitcoin to complete a perfect inverse head and shoulders pattern. This technical formation suggests a strong bullish reversal, and many analysts believe a giga candle is eventable. If this pattern holds, we could see a strong bull run this year as promised. We can see a strong bull run this year if the markets and the data stays where we want it to stay. We can definitely see a strong market coming in. Yes, it is true, we can. So that is the reasons why the crypto market decided to go shooting up. The moment the CPI data dropped today, the S&P 500 also rose well. Nasdaq was doing quite good for itself as well. But that is the reason. I said this to everyone yesterday. We're waiting for the CPI data, and they were propped up a little bit. And Joe Biden is obviously coming out and saying, the markets, obviously the inflation is getting lower, and it's because of Joe Biden and Bidenomics. Absolute BS. It's going to do with Bidenomics whatsoever. It's because we're coming up to election time, and obviously they need to make the market look good because it makes Joe Biden look good. But either way, it's good for us as well inside the crypto sector. So that is what we needed. We needed some good news in terms of the CPI data, and it came through. Well, I don't see. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding the Turkish lira as well. Regarding Turkey in general, Turkey is quite big, as I said previously on this live show, in the crypto space. The data always comes out of how big South Korea's volume is, how big Hong Kong's volume is, Japan's volume is, and so on, inside the crypto sector, in terms of the Asian market and so on. Turkey's volume is quite high as well inside the crypto sector, especially recently. Turkey's volume has been very high in terms of the crypto space. And it's only because of inflation. Because of inflation, Turkey, or essentially the retail section of Turkey, are running towards the crypto sector. And we'll go through of how strong the data is after we go through the comment section. So if you're also new on this live show, I normally do news, comments, back to back. so I don't miss out on anyone's comments. Well, I don't see it in the stores or at the petrol station. It's amazing what they can do when the numbers, there is elections around the corner. Yes, it is true. Look, all of this regarding, the market's doing better and so on, and we're expecting rate cuts sooner or later, and the prop up they're doing is all because of election year. If election year wasn't right around the corner, then, obviously the market would be doing incredibly bad and the numbers will be actually genuine. These numbers are not genuine. And there should be a lot more higher. The inflation is crazy. There should be a lot more higher. But they're trying to make the economy look good. And, Moody's, for example, is one of the companies that lied in the 2008 situation and said the market is doing great in 2008. It was what Moody's said, and it wasn't. And Moody's was fully aware of that, but they lied. And they made the market look good. And then the housing crisis situation happened in 2008 was an absolute crash. So they're obviously making the market look good because it's election year. It's just common sense at this point. Because they do this every time. History always repeats itself. Always, history will repeat itself. Now, before we go through that inside, let's go inside the conversation. KuCoin Visa debit card is not available for the UK customers. It's not available for the UK. iEggs, you still up? Stormy, let's go. But either way, it makes the crypto market look good, and that's all that matters to us. As long as the investments are doing well based on the data, that's what matters to us. Let them show out the propped data. Who cares? The market looks good for us. Stormy, good to see. Let's go. So what about Friday's reports? I was looking at the economics calendars for Friday. Well, we haven't got that yet. Will that impact the markets? Possibly. Happy Pisces, let's go. How you doing? How you been? Solana will hit 5x easy. XRP will hit 10x easy, is what Imon's saying. Let's go. Chozo, Turkey's volume is high because of criminals. Yes, I can't say that, Chozo. I can't read the last one. I can't actually washing money on live, can I? I just said it anyways. But yeah, Turkey is high because of that. Now, Turkish lira. Turkish lira's crypto volume market share hits an all-time high because of inflation. The crypto volume market share of Turkish lira has hit an all-time high, aimed at the currency's depreciation, essentially, and foreign exchange volatility inside the country. According to a report by crypto research platform Kilo, the uptick in Turkey's crypto volume market share caused currencies essentially to rally past the euro, becoming the third largest fiat currency by volume. Turkish lira is above euros in terms of coming inside the market, which is ridiculous to think about it. The Turkish lira has become the third largest fiat by volume. Kilo's analysis found that the Turkish lira, in other words, in terms of crypto volume market share, hit an all-time high of 19% in early June. The surge was driven by the high inflation in the country, which has surpassed 70%, essentially making the Turkish lira one of the worst performing fiat currencies in the world. Hence why everybody in Turkey right now is running towards the crypto sector. Usually, currency devaluations and foreign exchange volatility are primary drivers for crypto adoption in developing markets. Kilo said foreign exchange volatility has increased in the past month due to the record numbers of elections of 2024 and the growing in the monetary policies. Since April, the financial markets has seen the British pound rally to its highest levels as well against the euros in 2 years. On the other hand, the Japanese yen fell to a 30% year low against the United States dollar. And while the Mexican pesos has plummeted to its weakest level since October 2023, the common factor among these currencies is high inflation and massive devaluation of their purchasing power. But yes, Turkey is running towards the crypto sector right now. Everybody pretty much in Turkey is running towards the crypto sector, which is good for the crypto sector and good for people who are holding crypto, i.e. us. If you're watching this live show, I'm guessing you're holding cryptocurrencies. So it's good for us if Turkish citizens are running towards the crypto sector because of high inflation. The higher the inflation, the more people from the retail section will run towards the crypto sector to hedge against inflation. And there's a lot of countries right now with high inflation. Turkey's not the only one, Mexico's quite a lot of Latin American countries. Iran is incredibly on high inflation. I'm Persian myself, so I'm Iranian myself, in other words, and Iran has crazy high inflation. People in Iran are also running towards the cryptocurrency sector as well. G, good to see you. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Sorry I'm late tonight. It's all good to see you. How you doing? No problem. I read an article stating that a maker is undervalued. It's 2,500, so XRP can go way past that once adoption stablecoin and use implemented. Okay, happy Pisces. Thank you for the update. We'll go on the article. It's an interesting one. Trump's appeal is the next news to go through on tonight's live show. Trump's appeal to Bitcoin mining institutions. So Trump has came out basically and said that he wants the United States to be the hub, the headquarters for Bitcoin mining institutions. And that he wants the rest of the Bitcoins that are going to be mined to essentially be mined inside the United States. There's about 2.1 million left. And he wants that to be mined inside the United States. Trump's appeal to Bitcoin mining institutions is a wake-up call for crypto to stay political. It may seem like the industry is finally getting the political support it needs, the crypto sector, but proceed with caution. The former president, Donald Trump, is calling for a domestic Bitcoin mining industry to develop in the United States. The United States, the former United States president, wants to build by the looks of it, a massive Bitcoin mining institution inside the United States. Perhaps with a bit of hyperhope, the Republican presidential candidate said he wants all the remaining Bitcoins, about 2.1 million units, to be produced inside the United States, is what Donald Trump is saying, arguing it would help the country become energy independent and counter the development of central bank digital currency. The announcement, made on his Truth Social platform, followed talks between Trump and the Bitcoin magazine's CEO David Bailey in front of representatives from leading Bitcoin mining firms regarding CleanSpark, Riot Platforms, Marathon Digital. These are massive Bitcoin mining institutions that were present when Donald Trump was making this essentially speech with the Bitcoin magazine as well. Essentially, he went on to say that at the former president's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida is where this was happening. The latest in a series of increasingly pro-crypto statements, including a pledge to defend the right of self-custody, accept crypto campaign donations, and keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin, has drained mixed reactions from the crypto advocates. Perhaps that it's not so surprising given how polarizing the former president, whose favorability rating never stood above 50% inside the United States. However, that's just one opinion. There are many others. Bitcoin magazine Alex, for instance, argues that Trump's statement is a powerful signal for the importance of crypto inside the United States. He said, "We absolutely want the world's most powerful man to signal to every other power broker that Bitcoin mining is a geopolitical issue. That's how you get everyone to start mining Bitcoin. That's how you decentralize the network." Responding to the climate change expert and co-founder of the Bitcoin Policy Summit, Margaret. And also, Pearls urged that decentralizing hash rate production in any one country, specifying essentially one where politicians and regulators have recent memory being hostile to crypto, is perhaps unwise. President Biden's administration, for instance, has floated the idea of a steep 30% Bitcoin mining tax. Obviously, President Biden is going to be, well, Sleepy Joe is going to be putting, heavy tax on anything he can get his greedy hands on. That's, understandable. It is Sleepy Joe or Sleazy Joe in some cases. But Trump has just made a huge announcement. He wants the rest of the Bitcoins to be mined inside of the United States. Not only that, but apparently Trump is thinking about building a humongous Bitcoin mining institution. And he's had talks with Marathon Digital, which is one of the biggest Bitcoin mining institutions pretty much in the world, and has backings essentially from BlackRock and Goldman Sachs and Vanguard. And he's had conversations with them on that the rest of the 2.1 million Bitcoins to be still mined should be mined inside the United States. And the United States should be at the forefront of this. essentially what Trump has said. But obviously, Joe Biden, on the other hand, he just wants to tax everybody. He doesn't care who mines it. If you mine it, you're paying tax. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is going to be introducing a AI-powered wealth management in Australia. I'm going to go through that, but before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. News: Biden re-election team is in talks about accepting crypto donations through Coinbase. Comments: always late on the party long. Joe Biden is going to be accepting cryptocurrencies through Coinbase. That should be an interesting one. How about if Joe Biden comes out with regulations first before accepting donations in cryptocurrencies? BlackRock will love that. Yes, BlackRock will definitely love that if Trump builds a humongous Bitcoin mining institution. Always Shelley Law. That is true. Regarding Joe Biden, always being late to the party. Now, Morgan Stanley to introduce AI-powered wealth management in Australia. Rebecca Hill, the head of wealth management at Morgan Stanley in Australia, revealed that the bank plans to integrate artificial intelligence and the management of high net worth individual portfolios. Its goal is to exploit the sophisticated software and methods employed in other regions to further Australian clients' investment strategies. Other regions are a little bit more established. It's a real opportunity for us to bring some of the leading ideas we had and we've learned from overseas markets to Australia, said Rebecca Hill. Morgan Stanley aims to leverage global AI expertise for Australian clients. Morgan Stanley is set to use AI to manage their portfolios of high net profile clients in Australia, and this is in line with its plans to incorporate advanced technological investment solutions into its wealth management services. The AI tool will be used to support financial advisors in automating some of their processes and giving them information to help them design better investment plans for their clients. The introduction of AI into the Australian market comes at a time when the number of high net worth individuals in the country has also risen. In the recent report by wealthy individuals, wealth increased at a rate of about 8% in the last 1 year and crossed the $1 trillion marker for the first time. This growth offers Morgan Stanley a unique chance to improve the quality of its wealth management services using artificial intelligence. Rebecca Hill noted that while Australia is evolving in how it deploys capital, it is still relatively new in terms of the technology in the wealth management. The firm sees this as an opportunity to bring the best practices and products that have been effective in other markets to Australian clients, thus redefining the standard in the country, expanding wealth operations in Australia. Besides the implementation of AI, Morgan Stanley is also looking into the growth of its wealth management businesses in Australia. The firm currently oversees over $41 billion, or about $27 billion in US dollars, in client assets and employs more than 100 financial advisors across 5 locations. The wealth management division of Morgan Stanley has been one of the best divisions globally, with the business generating better revenue than the first quarter of this year. It has also named essentially Jed Finn as the new head of their $4.8 trillion global wealth management division in November, highlighting the firm's commitments to boosting its leadership and expertise in this area as well. AI boosts efficiencies for Morgan Stanley financial advisors. Speaking at an investor conference, Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick said that the use of AI technologies would free up time for the firm's financial advisors. Pick also noted that the leveraging a new AI assistant advisors could potentially free up 10 to 15 hours per week, thus essentially increasing their efficiencies and being able to spend more time on their clients. That is complete BS. Now, Morgan Stanley going into AI, that is excellent. Extremely bullish. Also hoping that they incorporate some blockchain AI projects essentially inside of them. But Morgan Stanley going to AI, absolutely amazing. But Morgan Stanley blatantly lying that their financial advisors will have more time to figure out and focus on other projects is complete BS. Because once this AI takes off in Morgan Stanley, those people will become jobless. which is something that Morgan Stanley didn't want to say, obviously, at this conference, coming out and saying people will lose their jobs. But they will, because the AI is going to be taking over. These are the first steps of this AI taking over. People who work in banks will be replaced by AI because AI can pretty much do all of that. Obviously, AI is going to have some bugs and software problems and so on. So they'll keep 2-3 employees around to maintain the network. And after that, once there's no more bugs, they don't need any more employees after that also. So that's a enormous productivity quantum. That's not even getting to anticipating that might be a right conversion to have. Ted Pick also went on to say, Pick also spoke about the possibilities of AI in the financial service industries and called it a game changer. Morgan Stanley has created an AI system that helps in essentially in note takings and organizing client meetings, thus relieves some work for the financial advisors. There is no work left for the financial advisors. The financial advisor's job is to give financial advice. It's to set up their portfolios. It's to set up their meetings. The AI is going to set up their meetings, choose what projects they're going to be going for, and set up their entire portfolio. So essentially, the financial advisor becomes redundant, not needed anymore. It's something they forgot to mention at this conference, but they wanted to keep it happy and say the financial advisors that work for Morgan Stanley will have more free time. For what exactly? Because the AI is about to do everything they used to do. But Morgan Stanley going into AI, amazing news. I'm hoping that they do incorporate. Obviously, I'll keep everybody updated on this live show if Morgan Stanley does mention that they're going to be going towards any sort of blockchain AI projects, or in general any sort of AI projects. Maybe they're startup companies and you could go for the IPO essentially. Not go for it, but research the IPO essentially. Now, the next news to go for on tonight's live show is regarding Brazil, because Brazil's largest bank has now just opened its doors to Bitcoin trading for all types of users. They're starting off with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then they're going to move on to more crypto assets. But Brazil's largest bank has just opened their doors to Bitcoin trading, which is massive news again. But before we go through that, let's consider the comment section first. Reducing the personal opinion on who's pushing the buttons. Obviously, Sleepy Joe is not coherent or capable. Nope. Sleepy Joe is not capable of standing, reading, sitting, walking. Pushing a button is a much more difficult situation for him as well. And reducing the number of employees. Yes, exactly. We Australians are a bit Sleepy Joe, a bit late to the party. This should already be happening. True, regarding AI, yeah. Been to Australia once, loved it. Let's go simple. We just wait to see what the rest of the world are doing and follow like sheep. Drives me nuts. Can we ask if CMF use bots to trade now? Can we ask if CMF use bots to trade now? Sure, if you want to ask. Does anyone inside the CMF use bots to trade? Iman is asking the question right now. Does anyone inside the CMF use bots to trade for them? For example, Binance has trading bots, MEXC has trading bots, BitGet has trading bots, if I'm not mistaken, KuCoin has bots trading as well. Does anybody use bots for trading is what Iman is asking. If you want to answer, yes or no, up to you. Miles, I prefer a CoinMove wealth management service, thank you. Let's go through further. Binance has the best regarding bots. Can we still access KuCoin and MEXC on desktop in the UK? Yes, you can. Even though MEXC Exchange is not available on the App Store or Google Play Store inside the United Kingdom, I still have the application on my phone. I never deleted it, and I still have access to it. But yes, you can log in using your web browsers. I trust myself more than a bot, so if I lose money, I don't have to blame the bot, which is a fair point. A lot of people don't like using bots to trade. They can be successful at times, but it could also be quite bad at times as well. They haven't perfected them yet, is what I would say. I do trade myself. That way I know who to blame if something goes wrong, is what Camel said. Now, Brazil's largest bank. Brazil's largest bank opens Bitcoin trading for all types of users. So, the largest bank in Brazil has expanded its cryptocurrency trading services to all users. According to the announcement, this significant development enables customers to purchase Bitcoin and Ethereum through Ion, the bank's in-house investment platform. All users can now trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. Previously, this feature was only available to selected users, essentially marking a major step forward in cryptocurrency adoption in Brazil now. The bank's decision to open up cryptocurrency trading to all its customers reflects the growing demand for digital assets in the financial markets. The bank has started considering other cryptocurrencies as well. So they're starting off with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but other cryptocurrencies are going to be available very soon as well in Brazil's largest bank to all types of customers. The bank's initiative is a part of a broader trend among traditional financial institutions recognizing the potential of cryptocurrencies by offering direct access to crypto tradings. And the largest bank in Brazil is positioning itself at the forefront of this emerging market. This trading move will enhance customer retention and attract new clients keen to exploring digital assets. Likewise, this move is expected to attract a broad range of investors, from seasoned traders to those who are new to cryptocurrency markets. The bank has also implemented rigorous measures to ensure the safety of its users' transactions and assets. Brazil is the largest market in Latin America. In the first months of 2024, Brazil witnessed a significant surge in crypto trading volumes, according to data from Kilo's research. The country's crypto trading activity experienced a notable increase of 30% year over year between January and early May 2024. The trading volume dominated in Brazil real reached a staggering $6 billion, marking a significant rise from the previous years. Interesting enough, this surge has positioned Brazil as the largest market in Latin America and the seventh largest in worldwide in fiat currency trades in terms of cryptocurrencies. Despite recent market corrections, Brazil's trade volumes have steadily increased, outpacing United States dollar trading volumes since late January. Also, the report highlights the growing popularity of stablecoins over Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. In Brazil, with nearly half of all of its trades in 2024 involving stablecoins. MasterCard to foster crypto trading for banks as well. In 2022, financial technology and payment firm MasterCard introduced obviously a program dubbed for Crypto Source to help financial institutions offer secure crypto trading services to their clients. This introduced offerings will essentially help MasterCard extend additional security to players inside the cryptocurrency industry and support card issuers as they comply with complex regulations. In the long term, MasterCard's crypto trading offerings to banks and fintech firms will include technology and partnership support for buying, holding, and selling essentially digital assets. Likewise, MasterCard will offer security management, including identity solutions, crypto analytics, anti-money launderings, and know your business, amongst many others. MasterCard is getting heavily involved as well with Brazil's largest bank. So Brazil's largest bank has just opened its doors to cryptocurrencies, and they're going to be opening their doors first to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But they have mentioned they're going to be adding a basket of cryptocurrencies, and it's available to all types of investors. If you're a retail person, if you are a business owner, or if you're heavily inside the corporate sector in Brazil, everybody can now buy cryptocurrencies from Brazil's largest bank, which is amazing news to hear. Extremely bullish news. When a large bank, especially the largest bank, enters the crypto space, it just shows how mature the crypto space is becoming. The crypto space went from a space that nobody wanted to touch except a few individuals and then the retail section, to a space where now we have largest banks coming in and opening the gateways. We have BlackRock with their ETFs on many jurisdictions with their ETFs. We have Germany's largest bank inside the field as well, Brazil's largest bank. Quite a lot of banks, quite a lot of corporate sector coming inside the crypto sector, which is always amazing, essentially to hear, because it does show the adoption rate. Now, Ministry of Economic Development opposes ban on advertising mining is what's going on in Russia right now. Before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. I have just started, so I'll keep you posted. Let's go on. I just buy spot and hold. Fair enough. Or they want to get their money. Who wants to get? Or they want to get their money. possibility. You talk about Brazil in terms of washing. Now, Ministry of Economic Developments opposes ban on advertising mining equipment. So in Russia, they put a ban on cryptocurrency mining equipment a very long time ago. And today, Russia has decided to lift all types of bans on Bitcoin mining, and it seems like Russia is getting prepared to launching a massive Bitcoin mining institution. The Ministry of Economic Developments of Russia has recommended against the proposed ban on advertising mining equipment in the new bill on digital currency mining. This suggestion was made during an essential discussion of the bill number 237 introduced by the MPs back in April, which aims to regulate digital currency mining according to them. So, key recommendations from the ministry: clarification and regulation. The ministry insists on clearer definitions in the bill. It calls for established rules on taxations and liability of digital currency mining violations. The registration of Bitcoin miners through the state service portal should be mandatory. Advertising Bitcoin mining equipment. The ministry opposes the ban on advertising mining equipment. It argues that allowing advertisers will help businesses and individuals legally acquire the necessary equipment, which does not pose a public danger. The digital currency circulations. The bill bans the organizations of digital currency circulations except for those obtained through mining. The Ministry of Economic Development supports this but suggests introducing penalties for violations. Sales and reportings. The digital currency mined can only be sold if it does not involve Russian infrastructure. These are the regulations coming out of Russia right now, Bitcoin mining equipments, and some stablecoin regulations as well. Digital currency mined can only be sold if it does not involve Russian infrastructure. The ministry requests clarifications on the legal and technical measures to ensure compliance. Registration and control. The bill proposes creating registrators for mining equipments and mining infrastructure operations. The ministry suggests that specifying that energy consumed by non-commercial Bitcoin miners should not be paid by commercial rates. It recommends that a simplified registration process through the state service protocol with 5-day processing time for applications, regional bans on mining equipment, on minings. The government may prohibit mining in certain regions. The ministry seeks clarity on how this will affect already registered Bitcoin minings and data centers involved in related activities. The Ministry of Economic Development emphasizes the need for comprehensive regulations on cryptocurrency minings, including clear taxations, procedures, and liability measures. The bill was initially introduced in November 2022 and has undergone multiple revisions and discussions since then. So this is basically for Mr. Gary Gensler. Mr. Gary Gensler, who still uses the regulations from the 1940s. Russia introduced many regulations over the years, and the last ones were in 2022, but they're revising them and changing them. You see, Gary, this is how you do your job. You stick with the times and realize times are changing and new regulations are needed for assets. The ministry's latest recommendations aim to ensure a balanced and clear regulatory framework for the growing digital currency mining industry in Russia. Russia is getting involved heavily right now in Bitcoin mining. They're going to be doing a $100 million Bitcoin mining institution in Russia. They're also going to be doing a $100 million Bitcoin mining institution somewhere in Africa is where they're doing it as well. But yeah, that's how you do regulations for Gary Gensler, that one was, because according to Gary Gensler, you can still apply the same rules from 1940s to blockchain technology. But according to Russia, they have to keep on updating their rules to maintain with the times. Now, I revealed to everyone on this live show that every country is aiming to become a cryptocurrency hub. But there is one country aiming to become an AI hub. So we have, obviously the United Kingdom wants to become a cryptocurrency hub. Dubai wants to become a cryptocurrency hub. Hong Kong, cryptocurrency hub. Singapore, cryptocurrency hub. Japan, cryptocurrency hub. But France wants to become the AI hub. Artificial intelligence, France wants to be the leading country in this scenario, in this category. So, I revealed that about a week ago. And since then, until now, some things have changed in France. A French startup company, AI company, called Minstrel AI, raises $650 million to rival OpenAI If you don't know what OpenAI is basically ChatGPT, which is basically Microsoft at this point. So, a French tech startup company, Mistral AI, said that it has raised 600 million euros, which is about $650 million, in a funding round led by. Now, if you're thinking, this must be some small end AI company or an AI company that's going to go bust somewhere down the road because they have raised money, but they're not going to do too well. Well, the people that funded this AI project in France, after France coming out and saying France will be the capital of AI technology, well, the people that invest into this company are quite big names. So the round values the OpenAI competitor at about 5.8 billion euros or 6.3 billion, according to several media reports. Now, reports say that the new and existing investors include Anderson, Lightspeed, Samsung, Salesforce, and Nevada. Also, Google was involved, and the list just goes on with the amount of corporations that are involved with this new AI project. So basically, look out for the IPO. Now, also participated, bringing the company's total funding rounds to $760 million. Those are the companies. The funding comes as investors continue to show a strong appetite for AI technologies, especially in France right now. Ministro wants to bring AI into everyone's hands. Writing on the X platform, Arfam, the co-founder and CEO of Ministro AI, has expressed gratitude to the startup's new and existing investors for their continued confidence and support for our global expansion. This will accelerate our roadmap as we continue to bring frontier AI in everyone's hands, he added. Mr. AI was founded by a former Google and Meta developers in May 2023. Weeks later, the company, which is aiming to become a European leader in productivity and creativity enhancing artificial intelligence, raised $130 million in their first seed rounding. Their second seed rounding, $760 million. AI rivalry heats up. The firm released a new large language model, LLM, called Mistral Large, which directly competes with OpenAI's ChatGPT 4 and Cloud 2. The company said at the time that the model reaches the top-tier reasoning capabilities and is fluent in English, French, Spanish, German, and Italian, with a nuanced understandings of grammar and essentially cultural context. Alongside the LLM, the technology behind generative AI tools, the Paris-based company, and also unveiled a controversial AI chatbot called LeChat. Obviously, being a French AI company, then the American version is ChatGPT. The French version is going to be called LeChat. LeChat, or the cat, is an alternative to ChatGPT. Building such models is expensive, requiring processors that may cost up to $100,000 each. Ministry has also made its large language model available to Microsoft customers through the cloud computing services Azure, Microsoft, and has already hosted AI models from OpenAI on its cloud platform, took an undisclosed stake in Ministry, according to Financial Times. Apparently, Microsoft is now getting involved into this new venture of a startup company. So, if this particular AI company in France goes public, you heard it here first. It's called Mistral AI, and I think they're going to do incredibly well by the looks of it. I mean, the companies behind them, Google, Samsung, some well high-powered people as well, individual investors as well, and apparently Microsoft is trying to make a sneak attack because Microsoft owns OpenAI, and Microsoft apparently is trying to aim for this company as well, so they can buy out their rival. But if this company goes public, it's definitely going to be a company to look out for. LeChat. Now, Chinese president is coming out and commending a particular blockchain and a particular crypto project, which I'm going to tell you which it is. Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening all. Esper, how you doing? Welcome to the CMF live show, Esper. Now, Chinese president commends blockchain scientists in open letter. The Chinese president, Xi Jinping, released an open letter to Andrew Chichi, an education entrepreneur and a guru of blockchain technology, the chief scientist of the CFX network. So, the crypto project CFX has just been praised by the Chinese president. because of his technology. In his letter, Xi Jinping essentially appreciated You's dedication to China, noting that he has been in China to teach for the past 2 decades. For 20 years since your return to China to teach, you have transformed education into a service to the country, said Xi Jinping. He recognized and said that his input in educational and teaching processes in the advancement of scientific research. Xi Jinping told You that to keep pushing forward with his essentially blockchain ventures and advanced innovations, improving talent, education, and supporting Chinese scientific independence. The Chinese blockchain and the position of CFX crypto project. CFX, a layer 1 blockchain that has been backing of the Shanghai's people's government, calls to be the only regulatory compliant public blockchain in China. That is a big statement. CFX, pretty much on paper, the crypto project CFX, is the only project pretty much recognized and compliant by Chinese governments. This blockchain combines the hybrid proof of work and proof of stake consensus methods. On April 1st, for example, the Chinese government launched a new public blockchain infrastructure and the lead is the CFX network, essentially on the CFS network. This ultra-large scalable blockchain infrastructure platform for the Belt and Road Initiative is a project that targets cross-applications. Despite the prohibition of initial coin offerings and cryptocurrency tradings inside the country, CFX works with its token and its price is around 19 cents right now. With a total market capitalization of $785 million, this shows that President Xi Jinping has a good understanding, which underlines that the Chinese government has identified blockchain technology as a key aspect of its scientific and technological developments. The Chinese president sent a letter essentially to the founder of CFX Network, the crypto project CFX, and it's the only project that's pretty much green-lighted on paper in China and is backing Chinese governments. So, if you are holding CFX, good on you. I'm still holding it as well. But that is extremely bullish news to hear. When you hear a Chinese massive country, massive GDP, coming out and saying, CFX, they're commending the founder of CFX for advancing innovative technology. And it's also CFX is running the Chinese essentially backbone regarding their government systems. Not their banking systems and so on, but their government systems. But still amazing to hear. The ticker is CFX. Yes, the ticker is CFX. It's running at 19 cents right now. Can we invest in the France AI? You can't invest in the France AI, no. For now, you can't invest. But once it does go public, then obviously doors will open. But I'll keep everyone updated if that French project does go public, essentially. I'll keep everyone updated. I missed the old. Sean says I missed the old comment. The ticker is CFX. Yes, the ticker is CFX. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Ripple's announcement. Ripple is going to obviously be launching their new stablecoin. Now, Ripple is doing a massive event right now in Amsterdam, which is XRP Ledger Apex. So we are essentially getting news that's coming out of it right now. Ripple to launch RLUSD stablecoin on Ethereum and XRP Ledger this year. Ripple has recently shared additional details about the imminent launch of its new stablecoin. In a recent announcement, the company revealed that the stablecoin, named Ripple USD or RLUSD, is set to launch on the XRP Ledger and the Ethereum blockchain later this year. According to Brad, the reason why they named Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD is this. The name of the Ripple stablecoin is RLUSD. I call it the real USD, is what Brad said. Essentially what Brad said. The real USD or Ripple's USD, said Brad at the XRP Ledger Apex 2024 this week. And pegged to the US dollar at a 1-to-1 ratio, RLUSD will be fully backed by a combination of USD dollars, short-term US government bonds, and cash equivalent assets, as previously reported by crypto briefings. Do you know what's good about this as well? USDT is not going to be approved in the EU. The EU and USDT are not getting along. Tether and the EU are not getting along whatsoever. So this opens up an opportunity for Ripple stablecoin to come out of nowhere and take full position and be able to control the Europe markets, the EU markets, which is a big market inside the crypto space. Not only that, the US Treasury is also not a big fond of Tether either. Look, the only competitor Tether ever have is Ripple. Tether's competitor was never Circle. Circle was never too big enough to go up against Tether in any sort of a way. Circle was never big enough. Although Circle is backed by Coinbase, and Coinbase goes way back with also BlackRock and so on, but Circle is not big enough to compete. And Circle did depeg on their USDC once. But Ripple is big enough, and it's definitely going to be taking over. So, with the new product, Ripple aims to diversify its stablecoin offerings. In addition to, the company expects to enhance support for DeFi applications, including AMM exchanges, by providing reliable asset solutions. The announcement follows Ripple's recent acquisition of Standard Custody as well, and essentially appointing the CEO Jack McDonald, which I revealed yesterday, as Senior Vice President, overseeing the stablecoin division yesterday as well. And additionally, Ripple has chosen Alexa Interoperability, which we're about to go through right now, on the next news essentially, which is Ripple Labs also announces XRP-L EVM sidechain for blockchain interoperability at this event. So Ripple Labs has announced a new plan to decentralize finance DeFi developers to build Ethereum-based applications on the XRP ledger. Ripple believes the future of blockchain is multi-chain. The shift to a multi-chain approach has led to the introduction of the EVM on the XRP ledger. The need to achieve interoperability has led Ripple Labs to introduce Ethereum Virtual Machine, EVM, compatibility on the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger developers community reportedly requested cross-chain compatibility with the Ethereum blockchain. As a result, Ripple plans to unveil the XRP ledger EVM sidechain, a product that will allow EVM compatibilities on the XRP ledger. According to Ripple, the XRP ledger EVM sidechain will open up opportunities for developers to explore real-world asset tokenizations. The DeFi developers will be able to maximize their XRP ledger interoperabilities to drive innovation and expand the network's utility and reach. Ripple announced that it plans to connect the XRP ledger EVM sidechain to the XRP ledger mainnet. The process will undoubtedly require a bridge. The bridge will ensure transaction processing and interoperability by allowing efficient transfer of assets between mainnet and sidechain. Ripple Labs prefers the Alexa network for security. According to Ripple Labs, the Alexa network will provide the required security for the bridge. The Alexa bridge is reportedly going to be the only bridge able to source native gas tokens of the sidechain, that is the XRP ledger EVM sidechain. According to the announcement, the Alexa bridge can also serve over 55 other blockchain networks to promote further interoperability. Ripple Labs believes that Alexa decentralized bridge will provide the required infrastructure through its validator network. The engineering team at Ripple also has been working alongside PeerSet. The CEO of PeerSet has expressed his support for the interoperability blockchain in Ripple's blog post as well. He also said that Alexa is a battle-tested, production-ready and fully compatible bridge to bring wrapped XRP or EXRP as a native currency to the XRP ledger EVM sidechain. The PCET engineering team is now working to migrate to the main bridge of the Alexa for the devent, and the Alexa team is reportedly experienced in cross-bridge technology. Apparently, Alexa bridge technology has been used on Uniswap and Microsoft. Considering the multi-purpose nature of Alexa bridge, Ripple Labs announced that it considers using a simple bridge, which is better approach as opposed to multiple bridges, that is the XLS38 for XRP and Alexa for other cross-chain smart contracts. Ripple envisions institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger. This is where we get very interesting now regarding Ripple Labs. So these are all the things that they went through in the Apex event right now that's going on in Amsterdam. And this is when it gets very interesting. Ripple envisions institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger. Ripple outlined its plans for DeFi on the XRP ledger. The crypto payment platform aims to provide the foundational platform. Essentially, the crypto platform aims to provide the foundational building blocks for the successful financial system. In its primary plan, Ripple plans to streamline XRP Ledger to properly support the issuance, value transfer, exchange, and credit facilities. This way, the technology will have all the right components of a complete financial system. Ripple is going to be having a complete financial system, and essentially, in their own words, as a foundational building block for a successful financial system. Amazing things to hear. The crypto firm proposed an automated market maker, which is currently live. Additional items on the roadmap as well, including decentralized identifiers, DIDs is what they're calling it, or corals, multi-purpose tokens, MPTs, and XRP Ledger native lending protocols, all of which are different stages of that's going to be happening on the roadmaps. Ripple continues to innovate and strive for its place within the crypto industry. The firm has faced multiple regulations issues in the United States regarding the SEC, which has significantly weighted down its lately in the crypto firms has been actively innovating to compete effectively in the fast-growing crypto industry. New innovations can be evidenced by Ripple's recent announcements to launch a stable coin. So, what Ripple has just mentioned in this Apex essentially event, amazing news. Ripple trying to be the, okay, I don't know who this person is, but he is spamming the chat. This is amazing news that's coming out essentially from Ripple from the Apex Ledger event regarding they're aiming for to become the foundation of the financial sector in all types of aspects in terms of issuings, value transfer, tokenizations, and also what they did mention was that something that I mentioned because of what was mentioned by Ripple themselves a while ago. So Ripple a while ago, essentially the CTO of Ripple Labs, mentioned that Ripple wants to become the Google of the blockchain space where everything connects to Ripple essentially. It's exactly what was mentioned here where Ripple's going to be a multi-chain essentially, is what was mentioned here. So that is absolutely amazing things to hear regarding Ripple Labs, extremely bullish. Also, Ripple announcing finally their stablecoin, also extremely bullish. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. If Ripple is confident enough to announce a stablecoin while still, in the SEC case, it means that this case is pretty much done for. This case is going to be ending very soon for Ripple to be coming out with such an announcement, essentially. Otherwise, if this case was going to be continuing, Ripple was never going to be announcing a stablecoin. Ripple could have announced a stablecoin essentially a long time ago, but they didn't because they were battling the SEC. Now it's towards the end of the case. It's good that they're announcing it. So we only need to hold XRP low. It's amazing news. Still can't understand why the price never moves with this news. You can't understand, Butch, why the price never moves with this news. Well, Butch, it just tells me that you don't understand how the corporate sector operates, Butch. No offense, Butch. When you hear news like this, in reality, the market wouldn't respond. One, because there's still a case going on. That's just how it works. But also, Butch, when you hear Ripple, because I'm guessing, Butch, that you keep on seeing, Ripple, new contract, Ripple, new partnership, Ripple, new licensings, but the price never moves on XRP, is what you're wondering. Well, Butch, in the real world, when two companies sign a contract with each other, the price don't move. What actually happens is, in the real world, two companies come together, they do testings, multiple, essentially months of research. It could be years of testings and contracts, and then they sign a contract, and then they go into more developments, more testings, and more research. And then whenever they're going to be releasing the product, it could take 6 months, it could take 1 year, it could take 2 years, is when you would see the price action move. In Hollywood, when two companies partner up with each other, the price of the stock goes through the roof tomorrow morning. But in the real world, two companies, when they sign a contract, the price doesn't go to the roof tomorrow morning. It actually goes into development mode for 6 months, year, 2 years, depending on what they're trying to be developing with each other. So that's how it actually operates inside the crypto space. So Butch, next time you hear a news and the price don't move, it's because we're not living in Hollywood. This is real life. Inside the corporate sector, which is basically what I'm in, and a lot of people from the CMF are also inside the corporate sector, when two companies sign a contract, the price don't go through the roof tomorrow morning. It goes into deep development mode. Also, this case is stifling the price action as well. So common sense is what you should be applying, Butch. No offense, Butch, but that is what everybody gets stuck on. Everybody thinks, because they sign a contract, the price should go through the roof. It's not Wolf of Wall Street. It's real life. When two companies sign a contract with each other, the price don't go through the roof tomorrow morning. Especially not a company that's been essentially in a battle of a lawsuit. Butch, stop living in la-la land and come back to reality. Thanks, Miles. I still keep buying in and holding. Butch, let's go. No offense, Butch, or anything I said. It's just I hear this question a lot. Butch, thank you for listening. And thank you for taking under consideration. I have a feeling that when Trump mentions Ripple, XRP, whether he wins or not, the price will jump. The market will react, yes, because it is a volatile market space. But the price is still stifled. I don't think Trump will mention XRP because the price starts moving. I think he's been told not to mention XRP until after the lawsuit ends and he can use SEC as an example. It's stupidly. You have always told us that the US will always dominate. Why would they allow another Western country to dominate AI? Or is the backbone a US company? Good question, Freedom Feather. The US is still going to be dominating the AI space because the backbone is also the United States. And because the chipset that France would need is going to be supplied by an American company. The backbone is always going to be the United States. Look, even if the face sometimes isn't the United States, the backbone is always the United States. Because that particular AI company that's going to be competing with OpenAI, first of all, Microsoft apparently is putting offers on the table, or under the table in some cases, but also the backbone of that French AI company, they need chipsets. Who are they going to get their chipsets from? France? France doesn't produce chipsets. They're going to get it from Nevada, which is going to be essentially the United States. So the backbone is going to be the United States. The face is going to be Paris, but the backbone is the United States. It's a good question, and yeah, that's basically the United States backbone. The US will always be the dominant country no matter what. It's not losing power, it's actually gaining more power as we go into a digital world. Especially if we go into an AI world. Now, thank you. No problem, free info anytime. People don't understand implementations of new technology. A couple of my clients, it would take 8 months to implement new credit card processing systems to align to their Coral, to the accounting, etc., etc. So many bugs. Can you imagine XRP affecting the entire implementation of process? Which is another fair point as well, which is what I've always said, that facts. Honestly, what Happy Pisces just said, facts. It does take that much time. And yeah, it's difficult because a lot of people aren't inside the corporate sector. That's why they find it very difficult to understand how things work. Because I see it all the time. The comments of, and I never mention it because it's got nothing to do with me. For example, when I go on X, I always see people commenting, "Oh, another news about XRP, nothing will happen. So many contracts, nothing's going to happen," and so on. And I never respond to other people's comments on other people's posts. But it baffles me that so many people live in this Hollywood mindset because they watch films like Limitless and they watch films like Wolf of Wall Street and so on, and they think, yes, this is reality. It's Hollywood. It has some aspects of reality, but 99% of film is complete Hollywood. So, yeah, no, honestly, it does baffle me. This is years to implement. Yes, and essentially what I said previously as well. What Ripple's trying to achieve, they need not to be 100% sure. Ripple needs to be 1 billion% sure. XRP needs to be 1 billion% sure before they get implemented inside the entire financial system. Because if there's any bugs, it's crazy. Sorry, mate, if I hit a nerve. No, Butch, you didn't hit. Butch, you didn't hit a nerve. Don't worry about it. No, I'm just talking. Happy Pisces comment. No, you haven't hit a nerve. Don't worry about it. But I do see that comment quite a lot. But no, you haven't hit a nerve. Don't worry. Now, 56%. 56% of Fortune 500 executives. This is extremely bullish news. And it goes back to what I said previously, which is essentially that yesterday I mentioned that there are more corporates inside the crypto sector than ever before. There are more ETFs. There are more, essentially, we have ETFs launching in every jurisdiction. So we have regulations coming in through for every jurisdictions. We have more banks involved inside the crypto space. We have more corporates coming inside the crypto space, small, medium, and large business inside the crypto space than we've ever had before. So this market is nowhere near done. It's just getting started in 2024. And I said all these things yesterday. And today this comes out. 56% of Fortune 500 companies, essentially, Fortune 500 companies, 56% of those companies, executives, are testing on-chain projects, according to a Coinbase study now. Crypto institutional adoption grows as 56% of the Fortune 500 companies are developing on-chain projects, Coinbase wrote. Similarly, blockchain projects floated by institutional firms have also surged in the last 12 months, with the rise in use cases and efforts towards cross-border transactions. This underscores the need for clear regulation to drive more investment. 56%, that's incredible to hear. Institutional executives are embracing blockchain technology. A new Coinbase survey shows that American top companies are going pro-blockchain technology more than ever before. According to a report, blockchain projects announced by Fortune 100 companies increased 39% year on year, hitting an all-time high in Q1 of 2024. Also, 56% of the Fortune 500 company executives say work is in progress for chain projects, blockchain projects. From the biggest legacy brands to the smallest businesses, stablecoins go tokenized. T-bills, trusted names, and products in finance are embracing blockchain technology and crypto, driving innovation and providing on-ramps for widespread adoption. Major drivers of this trend include spot Bitcoin ETFs, tokenizations, and stablecoins. The approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs inside the United States heightened the institutional crypto adoption. It creates a new window for traditional investors to increase their exposures to assets. As a result, the Bitcoin price hitting that all-time high, with over $62 billion in assets under management. The movement of the traditional firms to Bitcoin sparked movements for spot Ethereum ETFs. The tokenization of real-world assets on the blockchain spiked in the last 12 months, with tests and programs from big financial institutions. Payment platforms like Stripe slowly delved into stablecoins, increasing global and institutional adoption. Coinbase looks to a clearer rules. Digital asset enthusiasts continue to push for clearer regulations inside the United States, aimed at recent lawsuits with crypto executives. Coinbase continues its quest for crypto legislations, highlighting several benefits. The report pointing to improved adoption is a major reason because of the ability to drive investments in regulated markets. Most executives, Bowman, for example, of the loss of crypto talents to other countries, calling on lawmakers to pass pro-crypto industry regulations. Furthermore, 48% of the participants inside the survey said that technology can create more access to the financial markets. That's absolutely amazing things to hear from Coinbase, without a doubt. Regarding Coinbase coming out and perfect timing on their study test to tell the entire crypto space essentially that we have more institutions than ever before inside the crypto space. On a global basis, we do have. But to see 56% of the Fortune 500 companies, executives in the blockchain sector, eager to be in the blockchain sector as well, amazing news to hear. So we have more corporates than ever inside the crypto sector. We have more banks than ever inside the crypto sector. We have more regulations than ever. We have more investments happening than ever. This is why, honestly, this is the perfect time to be inside the crypto space. 2024 is when the world is shifting pretty much into a digital era. And this survey is there to prove it. With 56% of Fortune 500 executives inside the crypto sector, and the Fortune 100 companies, about 39% of them, of those executives, are also inside the crypto sector. These are all amazing things here. Extremely bullish as well. Because it shows, and by the way, with every company that comes inside the blockchain sector, another company will follow in suit. Their competitors will follow in suit, for example. So just be company after company after company on a global basis, which means more money, more money, more money on a global basis, which means more money towards legitimate projects, hoping that everyone's holding legitimate projects essentially, not financial advice. Also, we have come to the endings of this live show as well. So, if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow and drop a like, and tune into it every single night. This was the CMF live show. On this live show, we talk about recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, and regulations and politics. Everything that essentially is needed for the world to shift into digital era is what we go through on this live show every single night, 11:25 p.m. UK time onwards, essentially. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, always jot it down inside the comment sections. And we have a Telegram group as well, which definitely join. Amazing place to be in. A lot of great people as well inside of it. Good night, brother. Good night, brother. Camel, see you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. Thank you, Miles. Pierce, see you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. And on this live show, if you did tune in a bit late, we talked about the 56% of Fortune companies inside the crypto sector. We also went through regarding Ripple Labs announcing their XRP Ledger EVM. We went through regarding Ripple Labs launching their stablecoin announcements. We went through the Chinese president talking about CFX token and praising the founders. We talked about the French startup company, Mistral AI. We talked about essentially Russia updating their regulations in terms of stablecoins and Bitcoin mining institutions. We talked about Brazil's largest bank coming inside the crypto sector and opening their doors to everyone. And a basket of cryptocurrencies is going to be available, starting with Bitcoin, Ethereum, but expanding beyond that. We also talked about essentially Rebecca Hill and regarding Morgan Stanley opening their foot inside the crypto sector, inside the AI sector in Australia. We talked about essentially Trump saying that Bitcoin mining institutions should be inside the United States. We talked about the Turkish lira essentially going high on inflation and Turkey coming in with high volumes in terms of crypto purchases. We also talked about the US inflation drop. We also talked about the Solana Labs introducing a bond program, which is their new platform for tokenization purposes. We talked about KuCoin introducing a bank card. We talked about OKX Exchange getting compromised. And we talked about essentially Circle and Solana coming together with gasless transactions and Terraform Labs doing their settlements is what we talked about on tonight's live show. We talked about quite a lot of subjects. So, take care, Miles and family. Ray, see you tomorrow sometimes usual as well. Butch, good night, mate. Butch, good night, brother. Butch, no hard feelings as well. You didn't hit enough. Don't worry about it, Butch. Butch, see you tomorrow same time as usual. Thank you, Miles, and take care. Mike, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. Do you think that the stable coin will take some of the price away from XRP? No, it shouldn't do. As long as the retail doesn't react the opposite way. Knowing the retail, the majority of the retail are not very bright. So, as long as the retail doesn't, even though that has been 6 times, someone from Ripple has came out and said that their stable coin is not going to be affecting, and XRP still plays a major role. Stanley started, not started already, not started. Morgan Stanley, they're starting very soon. Do you think, yeah. Good night, Miles, and all CMF. Thank you for all the great news. Let's go. JP, see you tomorrow, but same time as usual. Thanks, Miles. Good night, everyone. Orphan, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles, and the rest of the hopefuls. Let's go. Thank you, brother. Good night, Miles and CMF. G, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Miles, how will the recession affect crypto, please? If we do go for a recession, then the crypto market might essentially see a dent at the beginning, but it should increase in price. Because if we go for a recession, at the beginning, it will cause a small dent inside the crypto space or a large dent, but it will pick up eventually because there'll be a hedge against the inflation. The heavy investors will come in and should balance out the markets. But crypto will always be seen as a hedge against it. So it should be good as long as the beginning part is again manipulated, but the end result should be good. See you tomorrow, Miles. Funky brother. See you tomorrow, sometime as usual. Miles, did you check on RVN? I haven't checked it out yet. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks and good night, everyone. Shelly, see you tomorrow, sometime as usual as well. Good night, Miles and all. Free and forever. See you tomorrow, sometime as usual as well. Don't forget to fast on Saturday. This is for all the Muslims listening to Miles. That's for all the Muslims listening to Miles. Let's get going. Oops, I think you missed my comment. The first part. It's okay. It was the first part of your comment. Let me see. To implement. Regarding the implementation, they stated. Thank you. Good night. John, see you tomorrow, sometime as usual. Thank you so much and have a lovely night. Lena, you too. See you tomorrow, sometime as usual. Okay, I will see everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everyone have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world, CMF. And if you enjoyed this live show, you're watching it for the first time ever, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. I will see everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. No CEO of Artrex. No CEO of Artrex. The CEO of Artrex is going to be implementing. Not stated, started already, not stated. People don't understand the implementations of new technologies. A couple of my clients, it will take 8 months to implement new credit card processing systems to the core of accountings, etc., etc. So many bugs. Can you imagine XRP affecting the implementation process this year to implement? And then you said stated already, not stated, not stayed. And then you said no CEO of Artrex. And then you said he said $50 trillion were going on XRP in 2025. On the XRP ledger. Okay. Happy Pisces. Thank you for the update. Now I understand what you meant. Artrex, and then that, and then he said $50 trillion will go on the XRP ledger in 2025. XRP ledger. Let's go. Great news to you. Thank you for the update. Stormy, good night, everyone. Stormy, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. And happy Pisces. Thank you for the update as well. And see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the CMF.